Very, very good evening to everyone watching us and who have joined us here today. We are starting the season here in ACC with none other track than Barcelona, Spain. And obviously, what a great day to start. Obviously, from this season, a bit of timing change has happened. We are having ACC on Saturdays. Before we used to have it on Fridays, but obviously on popular demand. And I'm expecting around 29 to 30 drivers today racing with us. So that kind of gives us a positive feedback that obviously switching it to Saturday was the right go. But without further delay, I guess I will give you more info about today's race. Today we are gonna be having a sprint race format. So that is quali for 10 minutes, 20 minutes will be race 1 and 30 minutes will be race 2. The grid for race 2 will be set on based on the based on the finishing order of race 1, and obviously the race 1 order is set based on the quali times that people have set. But today in the com box, it's me, no more pro player, and I am joined by my friend here, SSJassassin, the hot man of IRC, who is controlling the cameras and who will be giving you the all the views that is there to absorb. But only 5 minutes is left in that 10-minute quali, so let's just have a look at how the leaderboard looks like as of now. We do have a couple of people only who have set the time, so we can see that we have WH Singh who has set a time of 1:43.1, followed by Worship the Panda, 8th, then slower than him, Starboy, Rishabh. Obviously, times will start coming in as the drivers are crossing the line, but they still have 5.5 minutes to do this. And we see a good mixture of Ferrari cars in the grid. Like, I see around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who have chosen to go with the Ferrari. A lot of Beamers as well, a lot of McLarens as well. All the usual cars, nothing very special, very extraordinary. But yeah, that's what we have for today. That we are seeing on the grid as of now. We are right now on board Sai Prithvi, who is going through second sector. Will be setting up a time in once he crosses the line. But yeah, talking about the race format itself, the sprint race gives us a good opportunity for good action, good commentary, won't make us bored in the comms box, because obviously all the drivers have 20 minutes that they have in the race, and in the second race they have 30 minutes. So everyone is just not doing any tire change or anything in the pits, no fuel change as well. Everyone just doing a splash and a dash. So that's the format that we are going for today. But yeah, on board Sai Prithvi coming across the final sector, the final chicane, which is very tricky to take. Especially, you should not be mounting any of these of those curves, but going as close as possible to get a better exit out of the final corner, which he does sort of. Let's see what kind of time he puts. 1:43.8 is the time that he is gonna put on the board, and that moves him to P4 as of now. A lot of people coming out of the pits. Obviously, the track map looking very busy for this race. Not so Masoom there, giving way to all the people on the lap. Probably he has stopped and gone back into the pits. So probably missed some kind of setup that he had to do. And I think he will be going out again. And that's him going out again in just ahead of Ghost there. So Masoom, as we all know, is one of the quickest drivers here that we have in IRC. He is currently sitting in P2. Obviously, Davlesh Singh is the one beating him on the track as of now, but he can turn it around with just 3 minutes left in the session. Probably 2 laps that he can get in with around 6 or 7 liters of fuel that he will be carrying right now. That's what my expectations are. But right now he is on his out lap, so we'll have a look at him once he starts his hot lap, which will be probably in the next lap. So let's go on board someone else. So we have a lot of, obviously, with these many signups and with these many people on the track, we have a lot of newcomers that we can see. Saidak, obviously, one of our old racers. We have Nirma, who is making a return. Currently, his car is completely black. I am pretty sure we are missing his livery, but nevertheless, next race we will get his livery in loaded in. So Davlesh currently confidently running in P1 with the fastest time of the session. He is going through turn 3, if I am not wrong. Uphill climb. You have to stick as close as possible to the inside and then drift wide. Again, approaching to the next turn. Hard brake. Full turn and then again make your car drift as wide as possible. Use as much of the track as possible. Next is a cambered corner. If you do a bit of a mistake, you are gonna be heading towards the wall. But he does manage to keep it very clean. Again, next corner, a lot of people friendly. Some people lift off. Some people, you know, shift a couple of gears. But that follows on to the hairpin where you have to brake hard. Again, followed by a couple of corners which can unsettle your car. Sticking as close as possible to the inside curve, going on throttle as early as possible. Again, on this right-hander, trying to take as much of the curve as possible without hitting the sausages on the inside. That seemed like a very good lap. On the exit, though, Davlesh did lose a bit of time going over the yellow sausage, which you should technically try to avoid, but that's him setting a time of 1:43.0. It's not at all a bad time. No one is complaining about that time. So we'll see what others have in response to his time. He will be on his final flying lap. A lot of drivers have already returned back into the pits. Danish, who is starting another hot lap, or I think he will not be continuing with his hot lap. Not sure why he was going so much to the right side while entering into turn 1, but that's him invalidating his lap. So he is heading back into the pits. Currently, Worship the Panda is in P4. Again, one among the fastest drivers in IRC here. This season, he's driving the Ferrari. Generally, we see him in the Porsche. But this season, he has decided to maybe challenge himself and gone for the Ferrari in car number 7. So he also is heading towards sector 2. Obviously, we'll see as he crosses the line whether he can improve on his time or not. But as it stands, P1 Davlesh Singh, P2 Masoom. Not sure who P3 is, but P4 is Worship the Panda. SSJ, can you switch to overall time? I just want to have a look. Okay, P3 is taken by Danish, so that's a brilliant time that he has set there. Obviously, the quali session has ended, so whoever is on a lap, this is their final lap, and whoever is crossing the line, that's them done. We do have, so some of you might be thinking, what are those colors, you know, silver, and then white, and then red. So those are the 3 classes that we have. So we have pro class, which is denoted by white color. The silver is the silver class, and the reds are the AM class. So based on their pace, their experience, their racecraft, all have been classified into these 3 categories. So most of the people coming back into the pits. Worship the Panda did improve on his time in the last lap, and he is currently sitting in P3. SD, being one of the pro drivers, is lacking behind right now in P16, and I think he already invalidated his lap there on the exit. Yes, he has gone back into the pits. Masoom has also finished his quali lap. So 8sil is still on a quali lap, obviously we have seen, but he just heads back into the pits. But we have seen a lot from 8sil in the past few seasons here at ACC. So maybe this is when we can see his full potential. Babaji also crosses the line. Obviously he had completed the quali run before itself. But this is the final order. The Blazing topping the charts with a 1:42.9. Probably his last lap he did improve by a 10th. Not so Mazum in P2 with a 1:43.3. So still a 4/10th deficit there. P3 by Worship the Panda. P4 by Tanish. P5 by Sai Pirtwi. P6 by Starboy. P7 by FIFA Kanak. P8 by Rishabh. Obviously, Starboy being a silver is in P6, so he is showing some really good pace. Raja in P9 and 8sil in P10. Obviously, we have a lot of newcomers as well. So we have Purav Gowda, whose name I am hearing for the first time. So he's in P11, so that's a very good debut race from him. Obviously, we have Hasaka in P13, again an AM class driver but in P13, so a very good debut from him as well, at least in the quali. Let's see what these boys have to show in the race. We have P14 Kake, P15 Nirma. P16 is the real SD. He wasn't able to improve on his time. One of the pro drivers lacking there. Even Ghost in P18. So two pro drivers back down. We have Canon Nade in P17, Psyduck in P19, Babaji P20, Pepsi Po in P21. A lot of AM class drivers in the bottom half itself. We have just 10 seconds left. Almost all drivers would have done their fuel load and their setups changes if they had any. So we'll just be taking this start from the POV of the front runner. So we'll see how the start goes. Obviously, with 29 drivers, I think last one or two row can be going through the final corner when it is green lights to go. But we'll see how the start happens. Meanwhile, I have been joined by my co-commentator for today, Helium, who is gonna be a part of the comm box today. So Helium.
Looks like I joined at a very good time.
Yes, you did join as soon as the race was about to start. So we do have all the cars following in a double file, maintaining the delta, maintaining the speed, and we'll soon be going green. The last couple of rows have also come onto the straight, so no one. And there we have the green flag being waved. Double seem to have gotten a good start, better than Masum. Masum immediately slides in the slipstream of the Blazing. We do have Panda, who is losing a couple of positions on the left side there. He is currently going side by side with two other drivers. A bit of aji-baji going on, but everyone trying to keep it as clean as possible on the track. We do have someone going off the track and trying to rejoin, get a space there. There is a sliding car and there is some incident at the back, which is causing sort of a chain reaction with 3 or 4 cars. That's unfortunate. A couple of cars got caught up in that incident, and because of that, it was just a chain reaction. But up ahead, it seems like the place has sort of broken free. We still have a lot of cars going side by side. Baba G is still trying to go on the outside of people. He is being caught off guard by people braking a bit more. He is used to, but he has to get used to this. But our AM class leader right now is in P15 and he is challenging Dojin, who is one of the season's veteran here at IRC. Helium, your takes on the start?
Well, I think that PepsiCo person really had a very bad start to the race. He, I think, took out around 3 or 4 people at the start. But anyways, upwards and onwards, there's still around 18 minutes left to this race 1. As you all know, we will have another race after this, race 2, which will be 30 minutes long. So moving on to the front of the leaders, as you can see, Davlish has a little bit of gap with Masoom as they go onto the main straight of Barcelona track. And we have Panda. Oh, that's a lot of Ferraris. So all the way from 2nd and 5th.
That's what even I was thinking. A lot of people have chosen Ferrari this season. I think on the grid of 29 we have like 7 or 8 people who have chosen Ferrari. But meanwhile in the comment section, one of our viewers are asking how to participate in these races. Obviously you will find the links to joining our community in the description down below, where you can head to and join our community, and also head over to the website where you will find the sign up links provided for the season. So you can head over there and sign up for the race, and one of the coordinator will reach out to you. So the first step that you should follow is probably just join the Discord server, and you will find a ton of people here to help you out with the sign-ups of the league. But yeah, going back to the action, we do see a bit of settlement in the top, top 10 drivers. Davles maintains his position. Masum trying to chase behind him, just around a second behind him. Worship the Panda maintaining his position. Tanish also maintaining his position. So everyone in the top 5 seems to have maintained their starting position. Doesn't seem to be a lot of a change. We do see Deepakraj coming up a bit. Kake also coming up a bit. So these 2 silver drivers have made up a couple of positions.
Yeah, it's been a great start for those two drivers, and I also see Starboy is in the silver class, and he's pretty up at the grid right now, so that's great for him. And as we see, oh, that's a very long train, and there's a little bit of gap between Sai Prithvi and Kake forming, so it's like two trains are forming through the whole track. My God, that is a long straight. The whole grid is almost still in the long straight.
Yes, definitely. Because there is no DRS assistance in this game, so it's a bit of difficulty to overtake here. There we saw Eitzel getting a much better exit from turn 2 and to take on Deepak there, but Deepak in his
Trying to
already.
go on the inside and then okay. Nice.
Yes.
It was a nice run.
Definitely he tried, but Corgi, we all know, has the top end to, counter anything if on the longer straight. So he has to make a move on the earlier part itself because later half, obviously, he will pull off. So we'll stay on board him. He is currently stuck in a sandwich of a lot of cars. I think he has the pace, but he has to be cautious on the battles that he picks. Everyone going wide there and probably racking up a warning, in my opinion. But yeah, let's see. Let's hope that no one racks enough to get a DP.
And as we see from the track map, Davlish and Mason just running away with the race, like season 4, very similar to that.
This
But
is very common.
anyways, the positions between P3 and P7 seem to be very close. Can we move to that, please?
Oh, there is Eitzel cutting the corner there in the last second we saw. But yeah, like P3 to P7 are in a pack, and then P8 all the way till P12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are in a pack. So SD is also joining this pack of cars. We do
There's a
have
tire in the inside by, I don't know who that person is, Rishabh.
Rishabh.
That is a good move in the Audi against Puragoda's Bentley. And as they go through the corner, yes, he has made that corner very good. Great overtake.
Yes, indeed. So he did see an opportunity down the inside and he did not hesitate to send it. We do have Sidak trying to go on the inside of Canon.
Oh, that
He's
is
just
too close. That's too close. And he ends up in the gravel.
he misses his breaking point by a lot,
Yep.
and I think he just goes straight because of that. But yeah, he is safe for now. Uh, Canon 8. Okay, Canon 8.
Cannon.
Yes, that's the name. Okay, so let's go on board SD, who is trying to make a move on Nirma. I think this pack is still there. Obviously, no one behind SD, but SD has a lot of people ahead of him, and obviously, most of these drivers might not be the same pace as what SD is at. So it will be an exciting thing to watch how he tackles all of these drivers and whether he can get past them. He is losing his car on the exit there a bit squirmy on the exit. So we'll see what he can do with 12 and a half or 13 minutes left in this race to go.
Yep. That is an interesting theory. That bonnet looks like it goes on for miles.
Yes, indeed. So that's a big bonnet
Yeah.
with multiple G's. Ghost has gone into the pits and has given up on this race. Obviously, Ghost being
Okay,
another.
there's a lot of movement in front. As we see, there's almost 4 wide into turn 2. And we see Rishabh going into the wall. And SD gains a place because of that.
It seemed like two of the drivers had some contact there,
Yep.
entering into the corner. Because of that, the person tried slowing down, but then people in the team which just caught off guard. So definitely not the thing to do on the racing line. That too. Not sure what exactly happened. We will have a look at the replay later on. But right now, again, these people have come really close to each other, and again, something might be spicing out. Obviously, 8 still heading these back because of that incident. Deepakraj has broken out some 3-second clear of this back.
4 tenths between the both of them, and we see, is that
He's
Eitzel?
done a mistake there and has gone really wide on the exit there. He's joining back
Oh my god, his
from the
car is
exit route.
damaged. Look
Oh
at the
yeah.
damage on that car, and he's
Oh,
in people's way. I think he should just give up that position and go into the pits.
he,
But
he is
yeah,
giving way to drivers, sort of, maybe, maybe
sort
not.
of. Yeah, I think he's confused himself if he should or not. But as we see, he's just going wide everywhere, going to gravel, giving people way, maybe or maybe not. But that Ferrari is done for, and we see a Honda of
That's
Babaji
Babaji who is
perpendicular
gonna.
to the track, and Beaver has to cut the whole corner and go. Oh, Eitzel decides to continue, and he decides to continue going in the gravel.
Sure, if it is worth it for him to continue from this point, because
I don't think
obviously,
so.
yeah, obviously everyone is way quicker than him. He is parking on the side and returning back to the garage. We do have a red line there overtaking someone into turn one. I think it was. So we have redefined who was trying a move on the Gene. The Gene going
And
very
he makes
slow
the
there.
most stick. He goes on the inside on turn 3 and pushes himself into P19. Oh, sorry, P18. Dwajan loses 2 positions in the space of 3 corners. That's not good for him. I think his car is also damaged.
Yes, it does seem like he was drifting wide there and maybe going very slow there. So there might be a case of him having some damage. So we'll see if he also decides to continue or decides to go back into the pits. Meanwhile, Sai Prithvi running in P7 is closing on to FIFA Kanak as the corners go by. So maybe a dive coming on into turn one. We do see him really close there, but does go a bit more wide on the exit to not have the best of the exits there in the final corner, and we can see FIFA Kanak a bit flying off at the distance. Obviously FIFA Kanak in the Audi and Sai Prithvi in the Beamer. So Beamer not at all good on the straights but very good on corners. So maybe that's the reason why he was coming that close to FIFA Kanak on the final sector there.
Yep, the M4 has been a little bit slow, but obviously the M6 was a bullet in the straights. As for now, FIFA Connect is holding his position ahead of the Beamer, and the 3 Ferraris are stuck together, like Fevicol has been attached to their front and rear. Can we go to that? It's going to be a beautiful scene, seeing 3 Ferraris all together.
Well, I think the Ferrari was the way to go for this race because we can see a lot of Ferrari in the top 5. 4 of them are Ferraris. Maybe it was a strong track for the Ferraris, but again, the Ferrari are being driven by the fastest drivers that we have. So we can't conclude on that. So obviously, we'll see how these drivers do as the race goes on.
We have already passed the half time limit mark of the race, only 8 minutes left. Let's see how this pans out.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so we do have Sai Prithvi who is still chasing on to FIFA Kanak. I doubt that a move will happen unless and until Sai Prithvi becomes bold enough to go for a dive into turn 1. Although this distance is a bit too much for going for a dive bomb. Obviously, a couple of people exiting the pits right now. Oh, that's a very narrow avoid by Starboy there. Maybe got caught off guard by the braking of Tanish. Almost went into the rear of him.
Yep, that was a good save, good reflexes in trying to save that and still be in the race and still 1 second behind, although there is no DRS, so being in 1 second is not that much of help, but still.
Yes.
Oh, that's a lot of sliding.
Well, if you have to be fast in a short sprint, you can slide your car a bit to get a uh, better pointy front end towards the corner. So maybe that's what he is doing, or maybe he's doing it not purposefully. So we'll see. He's still maintaining that constant delta from FIFA Connect. So these two probably exactly the same pace, or maybe Sai Tarun is a bit quicker, but because of the Audi just taking off on the straights, he's not able to capitalize on this.
Yeah, well, technically Audi is actually not that even quick. The Beamer is just that much slower in the straights. Because
Also the case.
Ferrari is a lot quicker in the straight, and even Bentley is a beast in the straights. Audi is just a mid-range car in terms of straight line speed.
This much with that camera angle, we could clearly see the body roll that FIFA Kanak had in his car. This time he seems to be a bit more close to FIFA Kanak. Will he send it? No, he's still a bit. Oh, he is thinking about it, but I don't think he is gonna send it. P6 and P7 are really good finishing positions to risk for, so I think he's not gonna do it. Meanwhile, behind them, Deepakraj and has overtaken Kake, and now is running P8. SD is also running P12, but SD is still behind Nirma there, stuck behind Nirma for a very long time. I think something happened between SDA and someone else, because now he is way far off behind this pack, the pack that we were watching from the very long time.
Yep, it looks like SD had some incident either with Nirma or someone behind him, because that cab that was a couple of times. Oh, that is a moment from Four of Gouda, and he hits the wall and probably gets a lot of damage. He keeps the car on the track somehow after that incident, but yeah, he must have a lot of damage, and he'll probably get out of that train that has been from the beginning.
I think he might lose out on this train. He is parking to the side, I think. Is he planning to go back into the pits? I think so. He is planning to go back into the pits. So he could have carried on for 4 more minutes. That's like basically 3 laps. But he decides to go back into the pits. We
No,
do.
he doesn't. He doesn't actually.
Oh, he still hasn't. Why did he go to the right side? Is
I'm
what
guessing
I
he has
don't.
suspension damage.
That might be the case. With 4 minutes left into the race, let's see if there are any other battles that are going on the track. Doesn't look like it from the track map. We do have car number. Yeah, FIFA Kanak and Sai Pirtwi again going
They are
at each
glued
other.
together.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a lot of sliding. Okay.
I don't think that anything is gonna come out of this battle. I think this is gonna finish as it is. But here's to hoping. Hope that basically some action happens on the track. A lot of people are spaced out a bit, but again, most of the people are having almost equal pace with whom they are battling with. So it's becoming a bit difficult for these drivers to make a move on those people and maybe get the position. But we'll still see what Cyprus we can do with around 3 laps left in this race. We do see at the back of the field as well, we do have a couple of people going together. But again, Ghost, Rishabh, and Eitzel are the three non-finishers who have returned back to the pit after their incident in the race. So they will be starting from the back of the grid, because for race 2, the grid is set based on the finishing order of race 1.
Yep, and as it looks like for now, Dalish is going to retain that first position on the grid, followed by Masoom and then Kinda, Kanish, and Starboy. So the top 5 is going to be pretty much the same as race 1, and then there's a lot of mixing up after that.
Incidents did happen. Saida going a bit wide on the exit there. Maybe he got on power a bit and he drifted wide there. But he is back on the track. He does not have any battle near him, so he can afford to make those kind of mistakes. But maybe not a lot. He is testing the boundaries here. Second race is gonna be a 30-minute race, so maybe some of these drivers are concentrating on getting the best out of that race rather than this race. We do see a lot of amateurs who have crept up in the leaderboard chart. We do have P13 by Cannonade and P14 as well by an AM class driver Hasaka and P15 by Shrog. So a lot of AM class drivers crept went up in the leaderboard, maybe because a lot of 3 or 4 drivers returned back to the pits. So that kind of explains it. Deepakraj currently in P8. Starboy is leading the silver class, is leading silver class right now in this race. Pro class, obviously, by Davlesh Singh. And in P1, and probably there is nothing gonna happen. Masoom does not have a response for the pace that Davlesh Singh is putting out there.
Yep, there's pretty much a 3 second gap now between Masoom and the leash as the leash is encountering some back macro traffic. And okay, there's a lot of incidents there. Masoom is trying his best to get through the traffic without having any incident. Okay.
Like him threading through the needle between the 2 cars, he did thread the needle there.
Yep.
So a slight bit of steering movement from the car on the right, and he would have been into the walls, but he somehow managed to avoid that,
Yes.
and now he's still continuing in P2. We do have Mr. Raut and Akash
Akshay
Akashwani.
Shivani.
Akshay Shivani. Okay. Akshay Shivani racing for P24 position there. So they are getting blue flagged right now by P3 and P4 drivers who are coming up behind him. Akshay Shivani decides to give way. Sorry, Mr. Raut decides to give way, and soon will Akshay Shivani also give way to the coming up cars. That is Panda and Danish, who are trying to fight it out. Danish deciding not to overtake the blue flag cars as of now, maybe in the next corner. But because of this blue flag car, he is going more back compared to where he is with respect to Panda on the track. As Davlesh is coming through the final set of corners, final chicane, brilliant race by him. No mistakes, started P1, finishing P1. He wins the first race of this season, in fact. So he is the winner here. P2 is Masoom. P3 is Panda, who is gonna cross the line soon enough. P4 is Tanish. P5 is gonna be Starboy. P6 is gonna be Sai Prithvi. Oh, Sai Prithvi did overtake FIFA Kanak.
How
Yes,
did we miss that?
yes, we missed the only exciting battle that was happening there. So Sai Prithvi did manage to overtake FIFA Kanak towards the end of the race. We do have a lot of people positions being
Wait,
changed right now.
I think that's a glitch. FIFA Connect seems to not have finished the race at all.
So FIFA Kanak is in P7.
Okay, now it's okay.
So Sai Prithvi did overtake him in P6. So this
One
is
tenth
the
of a difference.
Yes, I think he just made the move in 1 or 2 laps before and we missed it. But this is your final finishing order of race 1. We have Davlesh Singh winning the race. P2 is Not So Masoom. P3 is Worship the Panda. P4 is Tanish. P5 is Starboy. P6 is Sai Prithvi. P7 is FIFA Kanak. A last minute move by Sai Prithvi granted him the P6. P8 is Deepakraj. P9 Kake. P10 Nirma. P11 by Purav Gowda, who managed to keep it in P11 actually. P12 by the real SD. So SD not having the best of the races, even being in pro class. Same goes for Ghost, who has not finished the race being in pro class. P13 is our first AM class driver, that is Cannonade.
Yeah.
P14 is Hasaka. P15 is Raja. P16 Shrok. P17 Psyduck. P18 Beaver. P19 Redefined. P20 Babaji. P21 Pepsico. P22 Supreme Kai. P23 Onstein. Yeah, Onstein. All these are newcomers in our league, and this is their first race. So, not at all a bad finishing in P22, P23, P24 for them. Hopefully, they will improve throughout the season. P25 by Mr. Out, P26 by Dojin, who did not finish the race. P27 Eitzel did not finish the race. P28 Rishabh did not finish the race. And P29 Ghost did not even complete one single lap in this race because of the incident in the initial part of the race. So we will be having a short break right now where our coordinators will be setting up the second lobby. So there will be a short break after which we will be back with race 2, which is going to be a 30-minute race. From the grid set by the finishing order of race 1. So, whatever you just now saw, the finishing order is gonna be the starting grid for race 2. Someone is asking in the chat, why am I not racing? Well, I don't have my wheel set up as of now, so I have to still get my setup ready, and then I should do some practice and then hop back into racing because I have been off racing since couple of months now, so I've absolutely forgotten every bit of racing that is there. So I have to again get back to it, and then I shall be back.
Yep, Propi is gonna come back and just blow everyone away. He's gonna win the pro class, and Davlish and
Yes, yes,
Masum are
yes.
gonna.
Good jokes, all good jokes being made around. My mic seems to be cutting. Is it okay?
It was cutting in the start. Now it's fine.
I do. Rishabh is telling in the chat that is still cutting. So let me
Okay,
just check.
but that was a good race. We're gonna be back in about 2 to 3 minutes of time. Until then, don't leave. Please like, share, and subscribe the stream. And if you want to see other videos, we also have F1 League starting. Well, actually, it has started. We already had our Tier 2021 race yesterday night at 9 p.m., if I'm not wrong. And we're going to have our Tier 2 and Tier 1 race tomorrow. So if you are interested in F1 2022, sorry, F1 22, so please subscribe to our channel and we look forward to having you tomorrow. As for
Yes.
now, we're going to be back in about 2 minutes.
Yes, definitely. We are gonna be racing tomorrow in the new game. The first race that we are gonna have tomorrow is will be of Tier 2 tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. When the Tier 2 boys will be going against each other in almost a full grid or maybe plus one of the full grid because there are a lot of drivers there, a lot of reserves. So we are gonna have a full grid racing tomorrow and with the crossplay beta rolling out yesterday. It seems like we will be getting crossplay sooner than we expected, and that's good. That is an exciting news for our community. We will be having the biggest season ever, the season 10 of F1 racing in a couple of months. So that's what we are waiting for eagerly and waiting for Codemaster to release a polished cross-play game coming up in the next 1 or 2 months.
Is this still made by Codemaster or is it EA now?
Uh, well, the team is still Codemaster under EA wing, so the game is
Okay.
still sort of made by Codemasters. But yeah, the supervision might be done by EA.
Well, then I don't have too much trust in that. If it was EA, I would have still been fine. Like, okay, there's still hope. Codemasters, no offense. Nah, just can't do it.
We all have lost hope in Codemaster, but let's see.
Yeah,
With a better boss, maybe they might get pressured and make a
yeah,
better
maybe.
game. But anyways, talking about ACC itself, this season we have seen the max sign up that we have seen for ACC till now in the past 4 seasons. So that's a very good thing about it. And obviously, from this season onwards, we have synced it with our F1 season as well. So this week onwards, F1 started. This week onwards, ACC started. So if you are someone who wants to race in these league racing in ACC, obviously you can head over to the link in the description below, and you should find all the information about how to join the community and participate in these league racing. Obviously, today also you could be seeing some 30 driver on the grid, so we are seeing a lot of participation. Obviously, this being the first race of the season, we did expect a lot of participation, but if we continue, if we have this much participation in almost all the races, then it's gonna be an exciting season, because we do have a lot of racing format in this season. So we do have the sprint one that we are seeing right now, and we do have endurance format as well, which will be in a couple of tracks in the near future. Maybe next week or next to next week is an endurance. Not sure. We'll have to check back and get back to you on that.
Next week. It's
Ah,
on
yes.
August 20th. We'll have endurance for Silverstone, which is double points.
Yes, so endurance races obviously carry more points than a sprint race, because you are driving for a longer duration. So there are things to spice up this season, and we are looking forward towards this big ACC season that we are gonna have this time around. So let's see how it goes as the season progresses. But right now, I do have some update on the lobby, so we are almost set to go. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 minutes, we should be back in the lobby. Obviously, there is no quali for this race. Directly, we will be jumping into the race itself. Obviously, Rishabh telling their endurance is fun. I will plus one to that, Rishabh. I never do any other race other than endurance, because I also enjoy endurance more than sprint races. But yeah, we are back in the second lobby. It is still practice session, which will be forwarded as soon as all the drivers have joined in. So we are just waiting for the drivers to join into the second lobby, after which we will be going into the race itself.
Yep. And speaking of endurance, one of the largest sporting events for GT3 cars happened last week. That was the 24 Hours of Spa. I don't remember who was the winner, but yeah, I saw most of the sim racers who went to attend that event, and it's very nice that after F1, ACC has also been on the high in esports, in league racing and all everything. Obviously, we also had SRO esports where James Baldwin won the championship. So yeah, one day IRC ACC League is also going to be up there with all these names. Hopefully,
Hopefully. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the hope.
yeah,
We do have Tanish who will be starting in P4, and Kapil is cheering for him. Well, a good thing is he did finish the previous race, so that's already an achievement for that man.
oh yeah. Well,
Not
most of the viewers
quitting.
don't know what we're talking about, but Tanish has a very good reputation of quitting the race in 2 laps time.
Yes. Well, the main factor why he didn't quit was probably because he didn't get into any incident. So hopefully he doesn't get into any in the next race as well. And he does. Uh, hopefully he does gain 1 or 2 positions on Panda and maybe comes on to the podium. We'll see.
Yep, as of now, Aircylinders is lighting up the timesheets alone while being in the practice.
SSJ, can you check my mic? Is it cutting from your end? Because Rishabh is
No, no,
complaining that
Yeah,
my
it's
mic
good for
is
now.
still.
It's
it's
good for
good for
Okay.
now.
now, but it's cutting in between for Discord. I mean, it's cutting for me also.
So is it cutting on Discord or is it cutting on the
That
stream?
I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, I'm able to hear the cutting, so obviously, I think it's Discord only.
Okay. Okay, I will look into that.
Yep. SD has gone with the M4, which has also been a popular choice, I must say. Especially last season when the car was introduced and it was too OP.
Yes, a lot of people, a lot of Beamers, a lot of Ferrari on the grid right now. We do have 1.5 minutes of setup and fuel load settings to be done by the drivers. Davlesh Singh will again be leading this pack of the race. we will be seeing him take the whole grid through the start finish line in 1 minute time. Meanwhile, Masoom in P2 and Panda in P3 will be looking to get back to Davlish, but doesn't seem like it. But we'll see. Anyone can do a mistake. Tanish is starting in P4. Starboy is in P5. Sai Prithvi is in P6 in that classic livery. P7 is FIFA Kanak. P8 is Deepakraj. P9 is Kake. P10 is Nirma, whose livery unfortunately we are not able to see today, but maybe in the next week's race we do see. We
He's gonna
have,
be furious.
yeah, he is gonna be furious. We have Purav Gowda in P11 and the Real SD in P12 with the classic default BMW livery. We'll go through the grid anyways. We had gone through the grid before as well. Cannonade leading the AM class drivers there in P13. We had just 7 seconds left for the second race to start off. Let's see how this race goes and how the start, whether the start is as clean as it was in race 1 or not.
Yep, the track temperature is higher, the ambient temperature is higher. Obviously, that is going to take a toll on the tires. Hopefully, the drivers made the changes according to it. You only have 1.5 say half minutes of time before you get the formation lap or whatever. I mean, this little part before the race starts. So the drivers are coming up on the main straight, start finish straight. As we see, Davlish is leading the pack, followed by Masoom on the left hand side, right hand side, sorry. And we see all of the cars, and we have green flag, and Masoom as quickly gets into the slipstream of Davlish, but Davlish has that raw pace, and we see an Audi going on the grass and coming back very safely. People seem to be very clean through the first two corners. As of now, there have been no incidents, but I might be very wrong as we see a 3 wide incident behind, and Dwajan already has a drive-through penalty. That is probably because of starting position infringement. But we see that top 5, top 7 again have kept their positions, and we see an incident. Obviously, I was wrong. There always have to be incident. Okay, that was a T-bone into Nirma. That was not good.
Yes, Nirma did hit someone on the outside and spun on his own to the right, and then he was just hit, he boned by someone else coming across that corner. So his car should be totaled by now because of that impact. But up ahead, people have gone out safely, and right now Babaji is in P13. That's a really good improvement from him. I'm not sure where he started, but he was definitely not in the top 15, if I'm not wrong, in the previous race. So he is looking for a redemption from race 1, and hopefully he gets that in this race.
I think he started at P20. So that's around 7 positions gained at the start. That's pretty good. We also see SD gaining 2 positions and coming up to the silver class people.
Oh, there is a lot of action going on here. Can you switch camera? I think there were a couple of drivers going side by side there.
There's a yellow flag behind. Just switch camera to car number 16 if you can.
Yeah, we do see slow moving cars behind on the long straight. We do have a lot of cars really close to each other. I think that's Itzel pulling out. No, that's Dojin pulling out to the right of PepsiPo. Makes the move stick, goes up one position, but he has to go for a DT. Okay, sorry, my bad. That was Itzel making a move on Dojin there. So he does make a move on Dojin there. Meanwhile, we do have Beaver who is under attack from Raja, who is on his inside. Oh, and
Okay.
there's also someone, not sure who it was. It was an
PepsiCo.
Audi. It was PepsiCo. I think PepsiCo is the person who T-boned Nirma, so he should be having a lot of damage there. Meanwhile, here also we see Beaver going really wide into the previous corner, which made him lose 2 positions to Dojin and uh, right now Deepakraj, who has
So
fallen a lot of positions from the race start, is also trying for a charge on this back.
we put commentator's curse on Babaji. He's back into P23.
I'm not sure what happened with that man. How did that man end up in P22? We are not at all sure.
That's not true. But anyways, he does have the pace to go up the grid. And we also see Rishabh, who's pretty acha. Okay, I think he started from the back after retiring in race 1, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Who?
And
Did you say Deepak?
Rishabh.
Rishabh, yes. Rishabh started from the back, so he's all the way up in P19. Deepakraj has lost a couple of positions. We do have 8 still going on the outside there into turn 1 and getting the position on Cannonade into turn 1. So he is trying to make up a couple of positions. Ghost, who started off at the back of the field, is still at the back of the field, is gonna get lapped soon by the drivers. There we do have 2 cars going side by side, and that would be Rishabh and Beaver, who were trying to battle it out into the turn 4, but they did back out of that move. Obviously, this race giving more action than race 1 for some reason, and blue flags being waved for Ghost there, who has to let the drivers behind him by. And in this game, it's sort of like once you get blue flag, you keep getting blue flag. We do have Ghost going really wide there on the exit. So he's not having the best of the races that he expected. Meanwhile, Purav Gowda is trying to make a move on Kake. SD is also hot on his tail. So it's a good, exciting battle that is going to head up going into the final sector. SD taking the sausage and meanwhile bouncing on that curve. Missing that apex there, but trying to take as much of the apex possible into the final corner and getting the best of the exits for the main straight.
And I see Sai Prithvi has moved up and overtaking Star Boy in between. And he's behind Punish as of now. So Sai Prithvi has a lot of pace in that beamer in P5.
Yes, definitely. He is just 3 tenths behind Tanish, that too. So he's really close to Tanish, but right now we did see Purav Gowda missing, or maybe Kake breaking a bit too much than what Purav Gowda expected, and he was being caught off guard there. But SD is hot on these 2 guys' tail and might be looking for a move in the next 1 or 2 laps. Obviously, he will have to find the best opportunity, or maybe wait for the guys up ahead to do mistake on their own and maybe get a free position.
Where is this camera?
I think it's in the front splitter.
Yeah, it's in the front splitter.
Yes.
Why? Who does this good? किसके लिए अच्छा है ये?
Because camera and I place anywhere.
Oof!
Okay, so that was an incident between Kake and Pururav Gowda, and Kake is now side by side with SD as Gowda loses a position and he tries to go. Okay.
Kake is slowing down to give Purav Gowda his position because he felt that it was not fair. But meanwhile, HD will take advantage of all of this and he wants to move up ahead. But there is a car being parked in these places. So let's see. I think Kake has decided to not give way. Oh, I think he's giving way. I'm not sure. Maybe he will not give way. He will battle it out with the other 2 gentlemen. I'm not sure about that. Oh yes, they are going side by side. Purav Gowda looking for the inside opening, but that's not there. Sticks to the outside. SD meanwhile on the outside gets the move done into turn 1 and 2 on Kake. Kake again being pressured by Purav Gowda. Hopefully this time the battle between them is more cleaner than what happened in the last race. Kake there breaking on the inside itself and getting caught off guard by his rear stepping out a bit for that corner, but he managed it brilliantly. He should be sticking to SD as close as possible, trying to get the slipstream as much as possible to keep him away from Purav Gowda behind him.
Can we move on to the leaders? I think they were pretty close. Tavleesh and Masoom.
No, they're pretty far away actually. It's like a second off.
Okay.
We can see on the track map.
They seemed close in Dragman, that's why I said.
No, that is around a second.
Half a tenth, come on.
Half a tenth. Anyways, half a tenth, I doubt that anything will happen between these two folks because both are almost same pace. They are just gonna be half a tenth behind each other. That's the thing.
Like I said, okay, the Ferrari is actually slower than the Audi in the straights, so I was wrong.
Yeah, that's what even I thought.
Okay,
But yeah,
so-
Sai Prithvi is looking on to Tanish. Maybe he will get the move done. A Beamer overtaking a Ferrari on a straight. This is miracles happening here. Goes for the inside. Tanish tries to stick on the outside but is not able to do it. Maybe he will get a chance again into turn 4. I think that Sai Prithvi got a much better exit than Tanish coming out of the final corner, because of which he had that over speed on the straight. We have an incident into turn 1. We have Eitzel and Kake being locked on the grid. Kake is back out to let people go. I think it's Kake and who else had an incident? I don't think it was Eitzel who had an incident.
Yeah,
So
it was Eitzel only. Eitzel's Ferrari.
Oh, okay. So it was Eitzel. Not sure how Eitzel ended up near Kake, but that's one incident that happened. We have Raja really close to Stroke on that exit there. Again, trying for a move on the outside, but it's not possible to do that there. He will be looking for a better exit in the next to next corner, which leads to a long straight where he can probably outbreak Schrock ahead of him.
He's driving the Aston Martin, my old love. I mean, that car sucks everywhere, but it's good enough everywhere. So it's like a very weird combination of cornering and straight line speed.
Very balanced car, and we do see
Very balanced.
Schrock going wide. Was that Schrock going wide? Yeah, it seemed like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was Schrock going wide there on the corner entry. Raja is still being very patient on the overtake here. He could have sent it down the inside, but he decides not to. He is holding back as of now, looking for Schrock to do mistake like those. Schrock just now took taking a very narrow line into the final chicane, which compromised his exit from the final corner. But Raja had to go on gravel, which is gonna give a chance to Deepakraj and Rishabh behind him to make a move on Raja, because Raja lost all the momentum there, and Raja loses 2 positions because of that small mistake that it did, both to Deepakraj and Rishabh. So now instead of attacking, again Raja will have to overtake 2 more cars to get back to Schrock.
The Porsche sucks on the straight. So, I mean, I don't know if it was because of the slow exit or whatever, but it was difficult to defend that, but he has done a pretty good job till now. And everything from now on back to that straight is the power, or is basically Porsche. It will be very good there. So let's see if we can make a move back to the front of those two Audis. As we see Gouda very close to Hasaka. Hasaka has moved a lot of positions. He's in the AM class.
He has taken the AM class lead from Cannonade, who was leading AM class beforehand, but now Hasaka is leading AM class in P9. So great show from him as well. Purav Gowda is looking to maybe make a move on him. We'll see what he can do. Dajin is still in the pits serving his drive-through. I think he is done with his race. Eitzel also has gone into the pits and has come out in P25 after his incident into turn 1, which we all saw with Kake. Not sure if Kake was involved in it, because Eitzel was nowhere close to Kake there, but we can't really tell. Right now we have Star Boy going on the inside of Sai Prithvi for turn 4. If you have the inside, you have the upper hand. But Sai Prithvi is showing that he can stick it on the outside, and he does get the inside for the next corner, which does help him keep the position for now. So he has, Sai Prithvi has gone from attacking Tanish and even being ahead of Tanish to now defending from Starboy. So maybe he was involved in some mistake that he did, which caused him to go drop down the field, and Starboy was thinking of taking advantage of that mistake.
Yeah, Sai Prithvi did make a mistake because he was ahead of Tanish until a while ago, and now he was battling with Starboy.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully Sai Prithvi will have to again put in the effort to overtake Tanish for P4. Meanwhile, the top 3 are almost flying off.
Masoom has got a
Masoom gets a
drive-through.
drive-through. Masoom gets a drive-through because of track limits. That's just going to change a lot of it.
Well, I'm not surprised. I somehow expected it. I think Barcelona was the race where he got drive through even last season in the last lap. So this streak is just continuing for him. He will have to serve his drive through and probably will come out way down in the 13 or 14 around there, according to the timing sheets. Oh no, wait, he'll come
He
out
will be
around
around
P8. Yeah,
Yeah.
P8 or P9. So we'll see what he can do from there with half of the race length left.
Yep. And all this fighting between Sai Prithvi, Starboy, Tanish has given FIFA Connect the opportunity to close out to them. He's only 1.5 seconds behind this pack and closing in. And obviously Masoom having that drive-through penalty means Panda will get into the P2 position and Tanish will be on the podium, and he must be ecstatic about that as of now. We also see, wait, okay, so Ghost is again
So there are blue
P25.
flags. There are blue flags being waved for Mr. Raut because Starboy and Sai Prithvi are coming through the field. Starboy again getting better exit there somehow and will be looking. Oh, that was a good touch and go there. Almost by Purav Gowda, who has caught up to Hake in the past 1 or 2 laps and might be looking for a mistake from Hake in the next one. Hasake in the next 1 or 2 laps. Meanwhile, we do have Eitzel in the comm box after his incident. Eitzel, please tell us more about what exactly happened there.
Hello. Yeah, just one of those days. Race 1 was a total wipeout for me. I died through turn 10. Car snapped the other way. And race 2, it was going well. I went from almost P last to P10. And then as I come through turn 1, there is a Kake on the apex. So
There is a Kake.
I had nowhere to go.
Okay,
So
so it was Kake who was, sort of parked there and you went into him. Okay, meanwhile at the back, we did see an overtake there. But yeah, unfortunate for you, Eitzel.
yeah, I know it's one of those days. It happens. I'll be back though. I'm looking forward to this season in the Ferrari. I will let you guys carry on. I will catch you another time.
Yes,
Okay.
meanwhile, Rishabh is like good debut in the Ferrari for Eitzel. But yeah, that was Eitzel giving us a few words on what exactly happened, because we did know that Kake was nowhere close to Eitzel in the race, even though they both were involved in an incident. We do have a pack here with Kake in it, all the way from P14 to P17, from Sidak all the way till
Pepsipo.
Pepsipo. And Deepakraj is in middle of all of this, and Deepakraj is looking to make a move on these cars so that he can maybe gain a bit of position. Ghost has decided to come out. There is a battle going on between Kake and Sidak on the exit there. It seems like Kake got a better exit, goes on the inside, gets the move done, but Sidak is coming back on the exit, gets the inside line. Yes, Kake, it becomes 3 wide. Sidek has been forced wide. Kake taking a compromised line helped Deepakraj to get that position done. But behind him, Kake and Sidek are still going side by side, going into the final sector. One of them will have to yield, and that was Sidek who had to yield there. And Sidek losing 2 positions in that corner. Babaji, meanwhile, casually having an incident there in the final sector and losing his car out.
That was a typical
That
through
was,
goes Hamilton moment.
yeah, exactly
Through
like,
goes Deepakraj! Something like that.
yeah, that was
I
the
really wish I
exact
had.
replica of Silverstone this year. Deepakraj really was the Hamilton, Kake really was the Perez. And we see Sidak again going on the inside of Kake through turn 3, getting a very good exit. I think his tires are pretty warmed up and in very good shape. And Kake seems to be really struggling with the traction and turning. Okay, he switches back on turn 4, which I have never seen in my whole life, and they are side by side, inches away from each other through turn 5, still going side by side through the kink in turn 6 on to turn 7, and Kake retains the position. He goes very wide though, and Sidak tries to make a move, but he gets contact with Deepakraj, and Pepsipo takes opportunity in that and goes up to T15. Okay, so that was a lot of things happening altogether.
Yeah, but the biggest disadvantage was Sidak, who lost around 3 positions in the last one lap. So he has to get back all those 3 positions, and he has 10 minutes to do that.
Yep, two-thirds of the race time has passed already. We are only 10 minutes away. That is around 5 laps, I will say. 5 or 6 laps remaining. And we see what will happen. Okay. We see Rishabh and Hasaka going side by side into turn 1. That was a very good, that was a very weird slide from Rishabh. He couldn't stick it in the inside. There was very clean racing between the two. Hasaka, being an amateur driver, is showing a lot of racecraft right now, defending from a pro class player. Okay, so that's two difference
Yeah.
of two classes.
Yes, definitely. I'm surprised that Rishabh was lucky there to not slide into Asaka there. He did control it towards the last moment, almost avoiding a contact into turn 1. But Asaka is showing a lot of, racecraft skills there, defending from Rishabh there. Rishabh is getting frustrated by the second. Him being stuck behind an AM class driver will definitely get onto his nerves. We do have Rishabh still looking for a move on Hasaka in P10. We'll see what he can do. Meanwhile, we do see SD has moved on to P7 right now. So he is currently broken off from the top 6. FIFA Kanak has gotten a DT for exceeding track limits. So his P6 is gonna go down. Masoom has already served his drive through and has come out in the
Yeah, Rishabh.
Man has
hardware.
left the session. Man has left the
Uh,
race.
yeah, I think he
Wow.
has left the race because of his DT. Hopefully, FIFA Connect doesn't leave the race, and hopefully he serves his DT. And that was Rishabh trying to go on the inside. According to me, a lot of space was given by Hasaka, but Rishabh was carrying a lot of speed into that corner, and that just ended in him hitting his rear and spinning him around. So maybe Saka won't be happy with what happened even after him giving so much of space, so much of breathing room. We do see FIFA Kanak just 5 tenths behind Sai Prithvi right now. Although FIFA Kanak will have to pit again, Starboy has overtaken Sai Prithvi in the past couple of laps. So Sai Prithvi has suddenly lost all the pace that he had. A classic example or the case that I can think of is that he has burnt up his tires. Probably he pushed a bit too much in the initial laps, and considering the temperature, his tires might have blisters right now, which is causing him to lose pace compared to other drivers who took it a bit casually on the start of the race, and now they are trying to get back.
Yep, we saw a lot of sliding in that race one. I mean, 20 minutes doesn't make that much of difference, but I guess 25 minutes does. He's applying a lot of law, steering law that must be burning up the tires. I mean, it's 37-degree track temperature, so that is a lot of burning and going through these tires. And FIFA Canuck has chosen not to serve his drive-through as for now. Maybe he has 2 more laps just to do that, or maybe 1 more lap. And we also see Starboy trying to defend from Sai Prithvi right now. Okay, I thought it was close to Tanish, so that's not true.
So Tanish is in a red Ferrari.
Yeah,
That is
okay.
very evident giveaway that that's Spanish. But right now, yeah, it's just Starboy and Cyprus. We are very close to each other. Starboy, they're going a little bit wide than the track limits allowed. So not sure if he got a warning for that. But hopefully he doesn't rack up enough warnings to get a DT, because already a lot of the top teams have gotten DT. We had Masum who got a DT and has left the session. We have FIFA Kanak who is currently having a DT and is still yet to serve his DT.
This POV makes the cars going so fast.
Yeah, I just increased my FOV a bit, so.
Okay, FIFA Canuck goes into the pitch to serve his GT right now. This will... Okay, so there's a stop and go penalty for Cider. I'm guessing that is because of pit lane speeding, because I don't think he get a stop and go for track limits.
Oh, he had a drive-through, but which he failed to, satisfy.
No, if you fail to serve a drive-through, you get disqualified. I think while he was serving, he must have sped in the pit
lane. Yes.
I have had a lot of stop and go, so I know about this. Okay, FIFA Canuck has served his drive-through and still is in front of SD. Can we go to that, please? He has somehow retained her position. No, it has not. Okay.
That hasn't updated because.
Okay, it wasn't updated.
It is overall. So overall takes one sector to update, but yeah, like right now it looks like he has lost a couple of positions. SD has climbed up to P6 because of FIFA Canuck having to serve that penalty, the drive-through penalty. Sai Prithvi is running P5 right now, behind Starboy, still trying to chase down P4, in which Starboy is running at the moment.
Okay, I'm guessing this has been a pretty boring race for Davlish, since he's been at the front driving on his own, just seeing empty roads and backmarker cars the whole time, as there is another backmarker car in front of him who probably has to do position, and he goes over the sausage curb and that kind of bounces the car, but no biggie for him. And we also... Wait, is there a battle for P17 maybe?
We do have just 3.5 minutes left in this race. So whatever people are thinking of doing, they have to do quickly. We do have Shrock being chased down by Beaver behind him. Both the Amcast drivers going at each other during this last phase of the race. So we'll see if a move comes out of this. Obviously Shrock taking a very tight line as entry into the previous corner, and Beaver in the McLaren staying towards the wider side of it. Well, technically McLaren should be pointing the car more compared to the Aston, but not sure exactly how the Aston was.
Okay.
He just mounts that curve like that.
You cannot do that in a McLaren. Sorry, buddy.
Still he manages to get a good enough exit there to not lose a lot of time to the Aston ahead of him, and he is gaining a lot of time on the straight as well. He is gonna go side by side on the inside for turn 1. Let's see whether the move can be done or not. He does decide to back out, I think, towards the end. He brakes a bit early in that process. Schrock manages to keep the position.
Yep, and according to the track map, the only close battle that I see is between Sai Tarun and okay, Beaver goes down the inside on turn 4 and tries to make the move stick, and he has overtaken Schrock through that corner, so that was a pretty good move. I mean, he could have done it in turn 1, I think, but he just dragged out, keep it safe. Are there points for P17?
I am not sure. I think it will be 50. Don't comment. I can't comment on that, but yeah, I think it'll be 15. There are points. I'll have to look at the rule book and get back on that matter. But
Yo!
Davlesh, oh my God, that was close. Nirma trying to overtake the blue flag cars. Kake is now making way through the blue flagged cars. That's what happens. Even during an endurance race, you will see a lot of such incidents from a blue flagged car, and your heart just skips a beat when you go that close. Okay,
I'm
so we
sorry for shouting there. My mic, to my mic. I didn't realize it was on. Very sorry.
that happens. That's the excitement. But anyways, just 30 seconds left. This race probably Davlesh is on his final lap, and he will be crossing the line soon enough for the race. He has started the final lap actually, and he will be crossing the line in 1 minute time. So these drivers have one last lap to get a move done if they are fighting someone ahead of them.
Okay,
Doesn't
I see Panda and Tanish to be very close. Is that true? No. Okay.
no. That's
Actually,
Panda
that's a black car.
blue
Okay.
flag car. Yes. Sai
Uh,
Prithvi is also 0.8 behind him. So Starboy does a mistake. He does a mistake
that
and
invites Sai Prithvi into the conversation very quickly.
but
Okay, he takes on the inside. Starboy is going very wide. He cuts him off so that he doesn't get the inside. Sai Prithvi trying to go on the outside, but that's a very difficult move to stick. And again, he's sliding that car as much as he can. Going into turn 5, Starboy stays in front. He must have shit his pants a little. So, pardon my friends there. Just a little bit.
well, he did a mistake going into turn 1, but he was able to block off Sai Prithvi there on the exit and maintain the P4 position that he is at currently. There might be a last bit of dive going through. No, it doesn't seem like it's too far off to go for a dive bomb there. But yeah, again, the Starboy missing the apex there for some reason, and because of that, Sai Prithvi closed up again. But then again, final sector, it's very difficult to get a move, especially unless and until mistake is done by the other driver. So I think this is the position final. Going through the final chicane, both of them take it in a similar fashion. I doubt any position change is gonna happen. He is very close to Starboy. Needs to go. No, it is not possible. The slipstream not enough to gain him that position. P6 is taken by the real SD as of now. So we'll see what happens. The race, the checkered flags have dropped. Right now, Raja is trying to battle going into final sector. Again, this also seems like a lost battle, especially if you are in the final sector. Unless and until the other person does any mistake, it's difficult that you will get an opportunity over the other person. We do have Ghost and Nirma trying to battle it out. So we'll see if anything comes out of this. Doesn't seem like it. Ghost is just casually driving. Nirma is also casually driving, missing the apex there by a bit, but position change here amongst them. So
Yep,
that's
as we have the back of the grid finishing right now, Nirma, Akshay Shivani. Yes, let's go to the positions that we have for the race. Okay, I think. Can you scroll down to the bottom? I think Masum. Yeah, Masum didn't serve his duty. He got disqualified.
Masum was like, I am gonna finish this race on a disqualification. So he got disqualified. Davlesh, as usual, winning the race, being the fastest man in quali, winning race one, and then moving on to winning race two. Worship the Panda winning race as being P2 in race two, P3 by Tanish in the podium, P4 by Starboy, P5 by Sai Prithvi, who did try to challenge but could not. P6 by the Real ST, who made up a lot of positions after his unfortunate finish in race 1. P7 by Prithvi Gowda, uh, Purva Gowda, who did give a lot of action. P7, he was P8, FIFA Kanak, P9, Cannonade, P10, Raja, P11, Deepakraj, P12, Hasaka, P13, Kake, P14, PepsiCo, P15, Babaji, who had an unfortunate incident, but then again climbed back from P23, P16, Beaver, P17, Rishabh, a pro class driver, back down in P17, P18, Shrock, P19, Akshay Shivani. P20 is Ornestine. P21 Ghost. P22 Washing Powder Nirma. P23 Supreme Kai. P24 Psyduck. P25 Mr. Route. P28 Itzel after having an incident left the race. P27 Dwajin after having an incident, getting a DT left the race, and P28 Redefined, who did not put in a single lap in this race.
Yep, and we have the podium finishers in the commentary box with us. Let's start with P3, who is Tanish. Tanish, congratulations on first of all finishing the race. I'm very proud of you for that and not quitting after the first lap. How was it for you trying to hold up all the Ferraris uh, and trying to catch Panda?
Yeah, it was hectic because once Panda just flew off into the distance, then it was a battle behind between me, Sai, and Starboy in the second race. So yeah, it was pretty difficult. Like Sai overtook me as well, but he made mistake and that let me past him. And then he got into battle with Starboy, which helped me create that distance, create that safe space. So yeah, it was very hectic till then, but after that it was a bit easier, I should say. But yeah, the race was hectic.
Yep, we saw that you were pretty close with Panda in the beginning of the race, first half of the race. But I think after a few in battling with Sai, you lost the position, or was there any incident or mistake that happened?
I mean, it's just consistency. A Panda being more consistent driver, he can just give that laps consistently. But for me, it's a bit difficult to get those laps again and again. So yeah, at the start, I think he was struggling a bit with the tires, but later on, like when he got the right temp into the brakes and tires, he just ran into the distance.
Propi?
I do not have any questions for you, Ganesh. I would just like to say congratulations on finishing the race. So
Thank you.
that's all. Moving on to P2, we have Panda. See, yes, we have Panda in the VZ. So Panda, talk us through your race. Nothing exciting, I believe.
I mean, first race was still exciting because I had Tanish and Starboy in close proximity behind, like 2 seconds or less than a second. Tanish was less than a second behind in the first race, the whole race. So first race was I was looking, it was looking interesting. I liked it, the pressure. Second race, I guess these guys just got into too much battling, Starboy, Prithvi, and Tanish, and then they just went back a little bit, and then Masum got a DT.
Yeah.
Which ultimately gave me the P2. And I feel bad for I don't know. I feel bad for the whole community because Masum was our only chance to defeat the Bleach, but he got a DT, and it's okay. I mean, good race. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Anyways, good race indeed to watch as well. But moving on to our race winner for today, Davlesh Singh, all race winner, even Kohli P1 pole position. So, very easy day for you, I believe.
Not really, to be honest. I was literally shaking before quali. I sort of know before, and we have seen how quick Masoom is on this track. He's much quicker than me, to be honest. But yeah, had I been in the Lambo, I would have not even been in the top three in quali. But yeah, car change coming in clutch, I would say.
Definitely. So today, no challenge sort of you got, I believe. Once or twice, Masoom was really close to you, but after that, you just created a gap, correct?
Yeah, I was saving my tires in the first part of the stint, and
Ah,
then I think Masoom was being a bit too aggressive with his tires, and maybe that's why he got left behind towards the end.
yes, indeed. So, anyways, brilliant triple win for today. Pole position in quali, race 1 P1, race 2 P1. So brilliant day for you today. Hopefully someone comes along to beat you in the future.
I hope so,
It's
definitely.
IRC against Davlish, and I don't know about this, but I don't know if it exists. But is there a Grand Slam? Because if it is, then you have achieved it in this race with the pole position leading every lap in both the races and on obviously winning.
This
So,
season we had to take away the point for fastest lap.
of
So
course,
I
because Davlish
mean,
was winning in
it is
every,
still a
every
grand
time.
slam.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
just no point for the fastest lap. That's
I
it.
thought
acha,
there
But
was in the rule book. It was written.
is it?
Yeah, it is still
okay.
written. I think.
Davlish coming for the points, even though he's P1 everywhere. So,
We'll look into it.
but look out, Davlish. It's pretty much the whole community against you. So it's going to be interesting seeing the whole season,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
seeing Masoom and Woah Panda trying to catch up to you and try to beat you. But I still believe in you. I know you're going to win this season also.
Looking forward to the challenge, definitely.
Yeah, and thank you for everyone. Thank you, everyone. It was a great race. Around 1 hour of racing we had today, including the quali and the two races. Davlish obviously winning both of the races, and Panda coming in P2 for race 2, Masoom P2 in race 1, and Tanish was in P3, and Panda was P3 in race 1. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining for the stream. We look forward for the rest of the season. Propi, you want to add anything else?
Nothing much. You covered pretty much everything. If you are watching and if you want to be a part of this community, all the links will be down in the description. If you liked what you see, do consider uh, referring or sharing it with your friends, and do drop in a like for this stream, and do tune in for tomorrow's F1 stream when we go live with our first race in the F1 2022, the new F1 game. That is tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. with our tier 2 boys. But that's it from me, Helium, and SSJ in the comms box. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
Bye
Good night,
bye.
everybody.